What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Knicks Recap podcast. I'm your host, Troy, and you could be anywhere in the world this afternoon, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate that. And as you guys know, we have so much Knicks news to cover today. We're going to be talking about the Giannis situation. I'm not saying that the Knicks potentially will have everything it takes to trade for Giannis. What I am saying, though, is everybody's been telling me that door is closed, and today we have a firm confirmation that that door is not closed. If anything, today it swung all the way wide open again. We're also going to be talking about the Knicks' interest in Russell Westbrook. We're also going to be talking about the Knicks' interest in Russell Westbrook because, yes, even though the Knicks made all of these free agency signings, they do still have a way to sign Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, it's a little bit tougher at this point in time. We're also going to be talking about Jordan Clarkson and why the Knicks even made that move. And I know you guys are probably looking at this stream and thinking to yourself, recap, where have you been? Why have you left us in the dark? We have been waiting for a live stream. Listen, I understand. I appreciate you guys so much. I've been hard at work doing a lot of things behind the scene for the show, for my personal life, for the family, everything like that. So for anybody who's been checking up on me or just wanting to see where the live streams are, don't worry. They're coming back. And this is the first of many. And this is the first of many. So I'm very happy you guys are tuning in. And we have so many different things to break down for you guys today. So I'm happy to get started and talk about all these different topics today. Because today was an insane day, not only for free agency, not only for the Knicks, but for a number of teams. This is insane. The entire world has been watching the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation, waiting to see if he was going to be available for trade. And then today, magically, the Milwaukee Bucks make a move, make a signing, make a trade that nobody saw coming. And once it happened, everybody thought, this is it. Giannis is not going to be traded. He is good. And if you thought that, you're going to be wrong. Even though the Milwaukee Bucks signed Miles Turner and they were able to trade for him, Giannis Antetokounmpo did not know that Giannis Antetokounmpo did not know that in order for the Bucks to do that, they were going to have to let go of Damen Lillard. And once the Bucks announced that, Giannis Antetokounmpo was very unhappy. He was upset, and he is not okay with Milwaukee right now or the direction the Bucks are headed in. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications on as well, too. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is to hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get started. Giannis Antetokounmpo is upset with the Milwaukee Bucks. The entire league, the entire NBA landscape has been watching Giannis, watching the situation in Milwaukee, and thinking to themselves, when is the other shoe going to fall? When is Milwaukee going to say to themselves, I guess we can't build a contender? And then, if that happened, it was likely Giannis was going to request out and ask for a trade out of Milwaukee. We all have been waiting for that. Everybody in the entire NBA world has been waiting for Giannis to potentially be made available for a trade. The Knicks, even the New York Knicks, did not want to make any type of trades, not even for Kevin Durant. Listen to this. The Knicks would not want to entertain any other major trades, even for Kevin Durant, because they knew if they made a trade for KD and Giannis Antetokounmpo would be made available, they would not have enough assets to make that trade, to trade for Giannis. So because of that, they have done nothing. Like the rest of the NBA world, they have sat and they have been patient, watching the Milwaukee Bucks and watching Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then today, we all thought that these trade talks for Giannis were going to be completely closed off. Because today, out of nowhere, the Milwaukee Bucks made a trade. They made a trade that shook the entire NBA world. They made a trade for Miles Turner. Let's go ahead and break down these following reports today. Shout out to Shams Charania for giving us this following information and breaking down exactly what the Milwaukee Bucks were doing today. According to him, free agent center Miles Turner has agreed to a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, plus a player option for year 4 in the 2028-2029 NBA season, and a full 15% trade kicker. That's at least what sources tell Shams Charania. This is a stunner. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks GM, John Horst, and CAA co-host of basketball also stated that they partnered with executing a massive deal in the market, in a scarce market for calorie. Excuse me. Let me say this over again because I definitely messed it up. So according to Shams, Bucks GM John Horst and CAA co-head of basketball Austin Brown partnered on executing a massive deal in a market scarce of salary cap space during the open days of free agency. Milwaukee retools aggressively around Giannis Antetokounmpo once again. This is an amazing turnaround for the Milwaukee Bucks. Once again, we have to understand that every single thing out there was telling people that the New York Knicks and other teams were not going to be able to trade for Giannis. And why? Because a lot of NBA insiders believed that the Milwaukee Bucks were going to be, a lot of insiders believed that the Milwaukee Bucks were going to build a contender around Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everything is good, right? Everything is okay. The Milwaukee Bucks traded, not trade. I keep saying traded. I got to stop saying that. They didn't trade. The Milwaukee Bucks added Miles Turner via free agency because the Indiana Pacers, they were not able to lock down Miles Turner for a deal before they were trying to make sure something was going down. They did not want to lose Miles Turner. They tried to make sure they signed them to a deal, but they were lowballing Miles Turner. They were not giving him his market value. And because of that, the Milwaukee Bucks saw that, and they swooped in free agency, and they signed Miles Turner to a 4-year deal. And this was an amazing deal for Milwaukee. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, everything is good, right? Milwaukee made this move. Now they're retooling. They're building a contender around Giannis. Everything is good, right? Nope. Everything is not good. And here's why. Shout out to Shams Charania for giving us this following information here. According to him, the Milwaukee Bucks are waiving Damian Lillard and stretching the remaining $113 million on his contract in order to acquire Miles Turner. Now, Lillard had 2 seasons left in Milwaukee. Lillard had 2 seasons in Milwaukee come to an end as he rehabilitates a torn Achilles tendon. And after stretching Damian Lillard's contract, they're going to be paying him $22.5 million annually. So for the 2025-2026 season, they're going to be paying him for the 2025-2026 season, they're going to be paying him $22.5 million. And they're going to be paying him this amount all the way to 2029-2030. $22.5 million. The Lillard trade was an absolute disaster for the Milwaukee Bucks. But they did what they could do, right? They still tried their best to retool this roster and add Miles Turner in free agency, and they stole him from the Indiana Pacers. But even though they signed Miles Turner, and they did it because they lost Damian Lillard in the process, this was not okay by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis was very upset that the Milwaukee Bucks lost Damian Lillard in order to sign Miles Turner. Check out this report. According to Chris Haynes, Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo is not pleased with the team's decision to waive Damian Lillard. At least that's what league sources tell Chris Haynes. And this was the mood, according to Giannis. He gives you the 100 sign, and he says, I didn't know what was going on. Look at the little quote there. I don't know what's going on right now, man. And he says, this is his mood 100. We had to look into this a little bit further, and I'm very happy we did because we got the following information from Chris Haynes here. The Milwaukee Bucks and Miles Turner agreed to a 4-year, $107 million deal on Tuesday, a deal that nobody saw coming. NBA insider Shams Charania said that Giannis helped recruit Turner to the Bucks after he spent the past 10 seasons with the Pacers. Fans were ecstatic about the news, thinking that it solidified Giannis wouldn't request the trade. That thought was short-lived, though, as Milwaukee waived and stretched the rest of Damian Lillard's contract to get Turner. Chris Haynes reported that Giannis was unhappy with the team's decision to waive Dame. With that, the speculation about Giannis requesting a trade went up once again. Here's what Chris Haynes had to say exactly. He just didn't like how the situation was handled. Again, it is notable that Giannis wanted Miles Turner in Milwaukee. So again, Miles Turner and him being added in free agency by the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo backed that move. He wanted them to add Miles Turner. He actually helped recruit Miles Turner to the Milwaukee Bucks. But the problem was he didn't understand, at least it looks like he didn't understand, that in order for them to do that, they were going to have to let go of Damian Lillard. And we all understand. Even Brian Windhorst stated it exactly yesterday. What are the Knicks waiting for right now? What situation are they waiting on? They're waiting on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let me make it clear. They haven't made any major trades, any major deals, because they have been waiting on Giannis. Let's go ahead and break down this report as well, too, here. Shout out to New York Basketball on the app X for giving us this following information here. Brian Windhorst stated the following. Teams like San Antonio, Houston, Miami, New York specifically have stayed out of other major transactions and saved assets to potentially chase Giannis because they're not sure that Giannis is going to like the Milwaukee Bucks and what they're going to be doing to contend for an NBA championship next season. Now, this was written yesterday before the Miles Turner's move. However, even though they added Miles Turner, Milwaukee upset Giannis by letting go of Dame. So let me get this straight. Giannis Antetokounmpo right now is upset. He's angry. He's mad. And he's not happy with the direction that the Milwaukee Bucks are going in. Yes, they added Miles Turner. Yes, they're bringing back some other players they had last year to shore up their team, shore up their bench, and create a contender. But I know for a fact, just because Chris Haynes said it, and you know Chris Haynes, he is very tight with Damian Lillard. So if he's saying this, I believe it. He reported that Giannis is absolutely upset with what happened today with Damian Lillard. And that opens the door potentially for him requesting a trade out of Milwaukee. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that alone is going to determine whether Giannis requests the trade out of Milwaukee or not. I'm sure a couple of other factors need to happen in order for Giannis to request that trade out of Milwaukee. But here's the thing, and we already know this thanks to Ian Begley and Kristen Winfield, from Ian Begley and Kristen Winfield from the New York Daily News. They already let us know this from yesterday when they did a live stream on it. If the Knicks are going to land Giannis Antetokounmpo, the only way for them to do that is for Giannis to go to the Milwaukee Bucks directly and say, I don't want to be here. I want to go to New York, and that's where I want to play. That's where I want my next team to be. If he does that, then it's likely the Milwaukee Bucks will talk to the New York Knicks and try to get a trade done. But if that doesn't happen, it might be very difficult for the Knicks to pull off a trade. I say difficult because it is going to be hard, but hard doesn't mean impossible. And for everybody who was telling me that the Giannis Antetokounmpo door, in terms for a trade being done or a trade happening, everybody was telling me that door is shut. Is it shut? Because I'm looking over here and I'm thinking to myself, Giannis is not pleased that the Milwaukee Bucks waived Damian Lillard. His mood is like this as the following. He doesn't know what's going on right now. I don't know about you guys, but if your superstar, after you make a major acquisition, a major move in free agency to get a player like Miles Turner, you do all of that and your star is still not happy, he's still upset, he's still unhappy of all the moves that you made during free agency, that tells you that potentially, I don't know if it's today, maybe it's sometime down the road this offseason, but if the Milwaukee Bucks don't do even more from this point in time to strengthen that Bucks team and make them a legit contender in the Eastern Conference, it might be a matter of when Giannis asks out and requests a trade out of the Milwaukee Bucks. And if he does that, a lot of teams will be lining up to trade for Giannis. One of those teams absolutely will be the New York Knicks. Now, we have a lot of other topics to break down here, a lot of other topics to talk about today, but I see the chat going off, and I don't want to leave you guys in the dark. I want to go straight to you guys and see what you guys have to say about this situation with Giannis and potentially if he'll ask for a trade out of Milwaukee at this point in time. So without further ado, let's go straight to the chat, gang, see what you guys have to say. Let's see here. You guys have a lot of opinions here, so let's see what we got over here. Let's see. So I want to go to the live chat to the people who was able to give some super chats here, and we're going to give Harris a shout out over here. Shout out to my guy Harris Pepper for giving us this following super chat over here. $19.99 super chat for this live stream. Like I said before, you guys, your support and what it means to this channel, what it helps this channel achieve each and every day. All I can say is thank you. Thank you, Harris, for being one of the best supporters that we have on the channel and supporting us with a great super chat today. Let's go back to the live chat and see what everybody else has to say. I'm also going to look for your live chat response here, Harris, and just see if we have anything going on here. Let's see here. 1 second. I'm just looking to see the live chat, see if I got anything from Harris over here. Shout out to my guy Harris, man. That was a great super chat. Let's see here. Calls will be taken eventually. I see somebody saying, Troy, you should take calls. Definitely. We'll be definitely taking calls at some point in time in the summer. I don't know when we're going to set that up. I've been trying to do that. The problem is you got to moderate yourself to do that. And it's very difficult in order to moderate yourself to do that properly. So just FYI, I just wanted to mention we are looking to do that, but not sure if we're going to get done with that this year, this summer, or maybe we're going to get it done toward next season. I'll let you know, but it's definitely in the cards. David says, hey, Troy, hope you have a wonderful summer. I'm going to a summer camp in Pennsylvania for my 10th summer in the camp. It'll make my summer if we get Giannis. Hey, listen, I've been doing my best, hoping that we can get Giannis. Hopefully that happens. Unknown Slam says, hey, Troy, how are you doing? And I'm saying, I'm doing well. I got my red cup here. Don't ask what's in the red cup. I can't tell you right now, but shout out to you. Let's see. Khadizalo, right? Khadiza. Okay. So somebody's helping me pronounce their name. Khadiza is giving us a comment here. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you telling me that. MVP Heights says, Giannis to the Knicks is going to be unstoppable. Mothman Evolve says, let's go Knicks. I agree with you, my guy. JD says, trading for Giannis and having no role players is wild. Brunson doesn't even pass or create. Brunson needs to be a better playmaker. Listen, Brunson has been averaging career-high assist numbers in each and every season he's been with the Knicks. I'm not worried about Jalen Brunson being a playmaker. And if Giannis Antetokounmpo is here, I think he's going to play make a lot more because he's going to have somebody always rolling to that rim, somebody that nobody can stop. So I understand what you're saying, but this is Giannis we're talking about. If Giannis is on the team, he's definitely going to pass. Obina says, Troy, you could tell us what's in your red cup. I'm legal. I'm not going to tell you what's in the red cup. I understand a lot of you guys want to know, but isn't that part of the suspense? Don't you guys don't want to know? Don't you guys want to guess? That's part of the suspense, I think. So if you do want to guess, you can go ahead. Not saying I'll say what it is, but you can guess. Shout out, by the way, to the chat gang, Knicks Nation, all 539 of you guys joining the stream right now. I really do appreciate each and every one of you coming on the stream, joining me here as we break down a number of these topics. We talked about Giannis Antetokounmpo. We're going to be talking about Russell Westbrook and obviously Jordan Clarkson as well, too. So please keep your sights tuned here because we have a lot of other Knicks news to talk about. Let's see here. What other topics are we going through? Crook's Corner says, "Oh snap! You got the red cup. Homie is drunk." No. You think I would do a live stream completely twisted? There is no way I would be doing that. Unfortunately, this is my first live stream in, I don't know, maybe a month or so. I'm a little bit rusty. You got to give me a little bit of praise here, a little bit of credit, but I promise you, it's like riding an old bike, right? You ride it a couple times, you get used to it, you're fine. I appreciate you. RJ Breezy says, sorry, but this is a pipe dream. I don't see us having a trade package Milwaukee will want, to be honest. Listen to me when I say this. Even though it sounds impossible, the door for trading Giannis, that door is completely open right now. The fact that he's unhappy with the Milwaukee Bucks keeps that door open. Regarding a trade package, if the Knicks want to trade for Giannis and Giannis says to the Bucks directly, I only want to go to New York, the Knicks and the Bucks will find the trade that works. It's likely going to surround Karl-Anthony Towns, but that trade is going to happen. Mike says, Troy, I love your show. It's amazing. Always look forward to your show. Keep doing a great job. Respect. I can't say your name, but he says, that boy off the moonshine. You think moonshine's in this cup? You see my eyes? If I had moonshine in this cup, my eyes would be like this. You wouldn't be able to see my pupils. Come on, guys. Let's see here. I'm going to go to Obina. Before we go to the rest of the show, he says, I heard Yob got to the take like $40K less to sign one more person. And Troy, if you were going to sign one person to the Knicks, who would it be? Interesting question. I appreciate that. So first of all, let's talk about that. So the question that Obina just asked was, who else would I like to see the Knicks sign? Well, to answer that question is a little bit funny because we have to talk about the Knicks and where they are in terms of salary. So the Knicks already in free agency used up a vet minimum to sign Jordan Clarkson, and they used their entire taxpayer taxpayer mid-level exception to sign Gerson Yabusele. So because they did that, right now, they're limited in terms of the amount of money that they can offer any free agent. So they really can't add any player in my head they can't really add any player in my head that I'm looking at or thinking about that they should add or maybe could add. But that brings me to a different topic, but still a very interesting topic. The New York Knicks in free agency have been linked to a number of different free agents. Now, a lot of those free agents have already signed elsewhere. But there is one free agent still available that has been interested in the Knicks, and the Knicks also have been interested in him. New York has shown interest in Russell Westbrook, and Westbrook, according to reports, does want to join the Knicks as well, too. We have a huge update on the Knicks' interest in trying to get Russell Westbrook on this team. As it was reported yesterday, as soon as free agency opened up, the Knicks and Russell Westbrook have mutual interest. New York absolutely wants to add Russell Westbrook to this team. But as we mentioned, during free agency, once it started, they already struck a deal immediately with free agent at the time, Jordan Clarkson. They signed him to the vet minimum. An amazing deal. If anything, they stole Jordan Clarkson. Why do I say that? Because a few seasons ago, when they wanted to trade for him, Danny Ainge would only let him go for multiple first-round picks. So that's why I'm saying that he stole Jordan Clarkson. With Gerson Yabusele, we needed to shore up our front court. We needed to add another big body. The Knicks always have issues with their front court. We're always dealing with some sort of injury. So the Knicks signing Gerson Yabusele, that was a great move. But because they made that move, now they're a little bit limited in terms of the money they have available and what they can offer other free agents to round out this team. Let's go ahead and break down the latest reports that we have here regarding the Knicks and their interest in Russell Westbrook. Now, these were the reports that came out initially before the Knicks made any moves in free agency. Shout out to NBA Central, Mark Stein, and Ian Bagley for giving us all of this following information here. According to them, the Knicks are expected to show interest in Russell Westbrook. Add the Pelicans, the Knicks, and the Timberwolves to the ever-growing list of teams set to be on the market for veteran guards. The Knicks, in fact, are said to be a possible destination in addition to Sacramento and a potential return to Denver for a potential return to Denver for Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has emerged as a potential free agent target for the Knicks. There will be mutual interest between veteran guard Russell Westbrook and the Knicks during free agency. That's according to Ian Bagley. The Knicks currently, they had $5 million in the taxpayer exception to add him, but they also have veteran minimums available to offer free agents. Again, this was first reported by NBA insider Mark Stein and Jake L. Fisher, who earlier stated that Westbrook was a target for the Knicks. Now, as I mentioned, that was the reports that came out before the Knicks did anything in free agency. After the Knicks made so many moves in free agency, we now have the following updates about the Knicks and their interest in Russell Westbrook. Excuse me about that. Sorry. I think it's right here. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I have to make sure I was on the right slide. Okay, here we go. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, Sacramento remains interested in signing Russell Westbrook. That's according to league sources. But New York is no longer regarded as a viable destination for the 9-time NBA All-Star. From what I'm hearing, according to NBA insider Steph Bondy, I wouldn't expect the Knicks to sign Russell Westbrook. There is no clear path to sustain playing time for him on this roster, and he's not the type to sit comfortably on the bench. So let's also make this pretty clear here. Right now, when it comes to Russell Westbrook, at least right now, the New York Knicks used up a lot of their funds in free agency to sign Jordan Clarkson and Gerson Yabusele. Right now, what do the Knicks have to fill out the rest of their roster? How much money do the Knicks have left? Well, shout out to Steve Popper of Newsday for giving us this following information. After the Knicks signed Gerson Yabusele to a 2-year, $12 million deal, the Knicks now are currently triggering the second apron. What does that mean? That means vet minimums are left to fill out this roster. And according to Popper, you have to wonder if another move is coming. So we now understand that at this point in time, Even before the Knicks made any moves in free agency, they were linked to Russell Westbrook, and Westbrook wanted to play here. After free agency, they had limited money. If that wasn't bad enough, because of all the players they added, if they added Russell Westbrook to this team, he would have limited playing time on this team. So at this point in time, the Knicks cannot offer him more than a vet minimum. That's one negative sign against them. And if he joined this team, he would not have the playing time he wanted. What was one of the main reasons he left and he became a free agent? It was because he wanted more playing time. If that's the case, even though a lot of you guys want him, myself, even I wanted him, I understand what Westbrook could add to any bench. Yes, he puts up bricks. Yes, he's not the greatest player right now. And of course, he commands the ball a lot. But the energy, the competitiveness, talk about a player that would never let the Knicks likely lose. Or if they're in a losing situation, he would not let them lie down to lose. He would wake them up and make sure they played their best brand of basketball each and every single game. That's what Russell Westbrook gives any team. Not to mention veteran presence, playoff experience. He gives you all of that. That's why I wanted Westbrook. That's why the Knicks wanted Westbrook. That's why a lot of you guys wanted Westbrook. However, I think we can all understand, right? We all understand it now, don't we? Even though the interest is there, if the money is not there and the playing time is not there, you can want it all you want. You can wish upon a star. You can do whatever you feel is necessary. It's not going to mean that the Knicks are going to be able to sign him and get him on this team. Now, again, like Steve Popper stated, another move is coming. What is that move? Is it going to be a move in free agency? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. But let me tell you why in free agency, you should never, and I repeat, never count out the Knicks and Leon Rose. I want to ask you guys a question. The free agents that we signed, how did we sign them? It's not like the Knicks had the most money to give. It's not like the Knicks had all of this playing time to offer. Why did they sign here? Here's why. Here's a conversation, if you will. Hey, join this Knicks team. You're not going to make the most money. You're not going to get the most playing time. Here's what we can offer you, though. A chance for a championship. A chance to bring a title home to New York City. A place that hasn't had a championship in 50 plus years. You want to know how they're getting these signings? You want to know why they're making these signings happen? You want to know why potentially Russell Westbrook or these other free agents could potentially sign here and not go elsewhere and choose to take less and sign here? It's because the Knicks are going to give them a chance to win a championship. So even though it's unlikely that the Knicks are going to add Russell Westbrook, until he joins another team, unlikely doesn't mean impossible. And as long as it's possible, the Knicks and Leon Rose, trust me when I say, they're going to find a way to get a deal done. I promise you that. Now, before we go to our last topic, which, by the way, is Jordan Clarkson and why the Knicks even signed him, why they went ahead and offered him a deal. Let's go ahead and first go to the chat gang and see what you guys have to say. But first, I know we got some super chats, so I don't want to ignore those. Super chats are the best right now, so I want to go ahead and do that. We got my guy Mothman Evolved who said, I would keep my foot on the gas if it gives us Giannis. $1.99 super chat. I appreciate that. Ryan Fields, my guy, $10 super chat. And he doesn't give us a comment. He just wants to support the show. All of you guys, again, I can't tell you what it means for you guys supporting the channel, supporting the show, and just helping out with everything that you guys have been doing. And if you wait a little bit longer, I promise you, we're probably going to review Giannis Antetokounmpo and that deal a little bit again. Because when I first started on that deal, when I was talking about it to break it all down, unfortunately, I called it a trade because in my head, I thought it was a trade, not realizing that they stole him in free agency. So we're going to review that part one more time just to make sure we're all on the same page. Again, that's going to come later after we're done with all the topics. That means our final topic, once we get through it with Jordan Clarkson, then we're going to go back to the Giannis situation. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. Definitely stay tuned. Let's see here. He's giving me, let's see. We got Nick Yak in the house. And he says, with no money now, how are we giving 4 players the freak and can't replace 3 of the 4 players we gave up? Let me go ahead and tell you exactly why it's going to happen, Nick Yak. Let me explain to you why. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Why would he come to the Knicks? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he wants to join the Knicks. He wants to join New York City. That's the why. How is it going to happen? He's going to walk all the way up to the Bucks management, knock on their door. Hello, I'm here. I don't want to be here anymore. You guys haven't done anything. You made me get you Miles Turner, and then you went around and you saw Damian Lillard leave. You let Lillard leave this team. That's how. You want to know how? That's how. That's how they're going to get Giannis. Because Giannis is unhappy. And if Giannis is unhappy and he let the world know that, then why would he let the world know that he wants to join the Knicks? And if he does that, guess what happens? Another trade. And guess what happens after that? More moves likely in free agency to shore up the roster. So I hope I helped answer your question. It's not impossible. It's there. It's always been there. What have the Knicks been waiting all offseason for? This exact moment. This exact time. They used Giannis. They used this man to get Miles Turner. And now, Damian Lillard, gone. Giannis, unhappy. Say what you want to say. The door is open. Let's go ahead. My guy, Knicks fan is him, says, everyone subscribe. This is why I love this community. This is why I love this community. You guys, the support you give this channel, I can't explain it. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. I know we had something from Khadija, right? Khadija said she has a question. Where is it? Oh, well, they had a question. I can't find it anymore. Tal says, imagine Clarkson giving Brunson a breather in the playoffs. Great signing. It is a great signing, but here's the thing. Some people don't even understand why it's a great signing. Why it's such a good move. What are Giannis Antetokounmpo and friends doing? Excuse me, not what Giannis Antetokounmpo and friends. What Leon Rose and friends are doing. What they are trying to build out right now. It's just amazing. And I cannot explain to you the moves that the Knicks made, how much praise they're going to get for it. Doing what they did in free agency is pretty amazing. I really can't deny it. But having the ability to still convince other free agents to join this team, that's the magic. And that's why Leon Rose needs some praise here. Khadija says, is my question, Troy, what is your question? What trade package would you give up for Giannis? What trade package would you give up for Giannis? Well, Ian Bagley and Christian Winfield automatically said this already, but I don't mind saying it to you guys as well, too. If the Knicks are going to trade for Giannis, the only way they can do that, the only way, is if they include Karl-Anthony Towns. So in my opinion, it's any trade that involves Karl-Anthony Towns and what other pieces Milwaukee asks for in a Giannis trade. Hopefully we don't have to gut the team, but if you're adding a player like Giannis, it's likely Giannis is not going to want to go to a team that's gutted. So it's likely he might help the Knicks be able to pull off a steal of a trade. And that might mean not giving up that many players, but instead giving up draft compensation. What draft compensation? Recap? We don't have any. Well, not true. We do. But we have them, but they're swaps. So we have swaps. And yeah, swaps matter. They're included. And a lot of teams want the Knicks 2032 draft pick. And if the Milwaukee Bucks can get that as part of a Giannis trade, and the Knicks are able to include that pick swap as part of the deal, that trade might happen. There are a lot of factors that are going to play into whether the Knicks are able to trade for Giannis. But Giannis going directly to the Bucks and requesting a trade, that's part of it. But the trade package will almost certainly include Karl-Anthony Towns. There's no doubt about that. Carl Knight says, can we please stop the Moses Brown stuff, please? My goodness. What's wrong with Moses Brown? He's a good big. He's in free agency. Why not add him? The Knicks only have access to the bare minimum at this point. So they can only offer the bare minimum to a lot of these other players. That means they're going to have to add some players you guys are not going to like. You guys are really going to hate. Maybe some guys you're not thinking about. Maybe one of those guys is Moses Brown. I don't have a problem with that. I have no problem adding more bench depth, adding more center help, adding more players for the 5 position. No issue for me. Last comment that we're going to do here. Let's see here. Knicks fans for him says, this is a great comment. You know how I'm going to do this? It's a great comment because I can easily end it and I can go on to the next topic. So Knicks fan is him says, would you trade Jalen Brunson for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Never. Never. I am not trading my superstar point guard for a superstar player in Giannis. The goal is to pair them together, not break them apart. That makes no sense. I would never do that. But going back to free agency and all the moves the Knicks made in free agency, we know the Knicks signed, let's go back to what we just said there. Going back to free agency, we all know the moves that the Knicks made in free agency. They signed today Gerson Yabusele in free agency by using the taxpayer mid-level exception. They used the full amount of it, and they signed Gerson Yabusele to a 2-year, $12 million deal. But that was not the first move that the Knicks made in free agency. As soon as free agency started yesterday evening, the Knicks didn't waste any time. And once Jordan Clarkson was bought out by the Utah Jazz, and he made it known that he had mutual interest with joining the Knicks signed Jordan Clarkson in free agency. And they signed him to the veterans minimum contract. That is an unbelievable steal for a player like Jordan Clarkson and what he can provide off the bench. But that begs the question, why did the New York Knicks sign Jordan Clarkson? Why did they add him to this team? Honestly, guys, that's a very easy question to ask. Honestly, guys, that's a very easy question to answer. The easiest reason I can tell you, the only reason I can tell you why Jordan Clarkson was added by the Knicks to this team was because of the amount he signed for. He signed for the veterans minimum to join this Knicks team. Not only that, he gives the Knicks more size. He gives the Knicks more shooting, and he can attack the basket as well, too. And if the Knicks need to rest any of the starters, they can utilize their bench now. They can utilize players like Jordan Clarkson, who can come in and provide instant offense. And shout out to the New York Post, Steph Bondy, for breaking down all of this information and giving us more info on why the Knicks signed Jordan Clarkson in free agency. According to him, Jordan Clarkson, the tattooed veteran guard, intends to sign with the Knicks as a low-cost scoring option off the bench. Clarkson was a late entry into the market after agreeing to a buyout with the Jazz, forfeiting some of his $14.3 million salary to hit free agency and move to the NBA's biggest market. Can we say that one more time again? $14.3 million. He gave up $14.3 million, and maybe he was going to have to give that up anyways. But still, he gave up that amount. And likely, if he joined any other team, he was likely going to be signed from, and if he joined any other team, he was likely going to join that other team by more than the vet minimum. He might have gotten a lot more than the vet minimum if he looked at other teams not named the New York Knicks. But instead of doing that, he still went to the Knicks. He still joined the Knicks. He took a significant pay cut to join this team. And the main reason he did that is because he wants to win a champion. And the main reason he did that is because he wants to win a title. He wants to win a championship. And he knows joining this Knicks team, a very strong roster in an open Eastern Conference, this might be the best way to do that. Let's go ahead and break down more of this information here today. Clarkson will finalize his deal with the Knicks after clearing waivers on Wednesday. A source close to Clarkson said he'll sign with the Knicks on the vet minimum. Let me say that again. A source close to Clarkson said he'll sign with the Knicks on a veteran's minimum deal, saving New York its mid-level exception, which they utilized to sign Gerson Yabusele in free agency. At 33, Jordan Clarkson's best basketball days are in the rear view, but only 3 seasons ago, he averaged 20.8 points on a respectable 44.4% shooting. He was also the NBA Sixth Man of the Year in 2021 with the Utah Jazz. Give me 1 second, guys. My throat's hurting here. I gotta just drink something here. All right, I'm back, guys. As we see here, shout out to the New York Post, Steph Bondy, for also giving us this following information as well, too. Jordan Clarkson is represented by Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, the agency with a turbulent history with the CAA affiliate Knicks. As the Post reported, Paul and Rose had a sit-down early in 2024 to hash out all of their differences. They obviously had to work together to finalize a Clarkson deal. A source said that Paul reached out to the Knicks first about Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson will join a Knicks bench that'll include Miles McBride and either Mitchell Robinson or Josh Hart, depending on who the next coach will start. New York starters logged more minutes last season than any 5-man group in the NBA, but the organization has emphasized expanding the rotation and developing younger players so the bench will carry greater significance in the future. And that's exactly what the Knicks need to do. This is exactly what New York has to do moving forward. They need to utilize their bench, but they also need to utilize who's on the bench. And I'm not only talking about the free agents, I'm also talking about the rookies as well, too. Now we understand the real reason why the Knicks signed Jordan Clarkson. Number one, he is signing for the veterans minimum. He offers everything the Knicks could want or need off the bench. He was a couple of seasons ago a front runner to be Sixth Man of the Year. And we're adding a potential Sixth Man of the Year candidate to come off the Knicks bench. A place that we desperately need, come off the Knicks bench. A place that we desperately needed more shooting and scoring last season, but we couldn't get it from anybody. Nobody on that bench could help New York until right now. We get more size, we get more shooting, we save on the cap, we steal Jordan Clarkson in free agency by signing him to the vet minimum, and now no other team in free agency is going to be able to add him. This is exactly the type of moves the Knicks need to make. Moves like this take teams from almost contenders to legit championship contenders. New York made this move first in free agency. According to Ian Bagley, for the New York Knicks, signing Jordan Clarkson was a priority signing. That means out of all the other free agents out there, out of all the free agents that they were linked to, that potentially they could have signed, they said thanks, but no thanks as soon as Jordan Clarkson was available. They made it a priority to sign him. They made it a priority to add him to their bench. And now he is going to be one of the main faces you see off the Knicks bench, along with Miles McBride, and likely either Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson. That right there, you're talking about a rotation, a starting five, and a bench unit that is likely going to compete against any other team in the NBA, let alone a weakened Eastern Conference. Let's take a listen to exactly what the Knicks starting five and bench rotation is likely going to be. You're looking at right now, Jalen Brunson. In my head, Deuce McBride gets the start. Then you get Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and you also get Karl-Anthony Towns as well too. So let's break that down again. Jalen Brunson, Miles McBride, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Karl-Anthony Towns. Off the bench, you get Josh Hart, you get Mitchell Robinson, you get Jordan Clarkson, you get Gerson Yabusele. That is an elite 9-man rotation. That 9-man rotation can go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the NBA. And it's likely that the Knicks are not done yet. They're likely going to make other moves in free agency to help shore out this roster and make us even better. And if they're not going to make any major moves in free agency, then maybe they make mid-level moves or minor moves. Either way, they're looking to make this team the best team possible headed into next season. And I absolutely appreciate that. Jordan Clarkson helps you do that. Gerson Yabusele helps you do that. Making sure you have the right players on this team helps you do that. Leon Rose and this Knicks front office continue to cook and cook and cook. They have been doing it in free agency, and I am telling you right now, Leon Rose and this Knicks front office, they're working the lines. They're on the phones, and they're trying to make a blockbuster deal happen. They're trying to get a massive trade done. And I am telling you, in the next couple of weeks, maybe days, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but Leon Rose and this Knicks front office, they're planning something. They're planning a move. And that move is going to happen very soon. And once it does, best believe we are going to tell you all about it, give you all of the details, and break down exactly what Leon Rose did to help this team get better moving forward. But as of right now, New York, at least in free agency, and only in free agency terms, the Knicks are one of the best teams in free agency because they were able to pull off signings that nobody thought possible. Signing Clarkson for the vet minimum and using the taxpayer mid-level exception to sign to sign Gerson Yabusele, one of the most desired big men in the free agent market this year. New York did that. Leon Rose did that. This Knicks front office did that. And they're not done yet. More moves are coming. I promise you that. Now, before we go back and talk about the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, break down that beginning part again, because like I said, I really didn't break that part down the right way, the best way I could. I want to go first to the chat gang, see what you guys have to say, and then once again, break down that exact situation about Giannis and what happened in that situation. So let's go ahead and first go to the chat, gang. So I want to make sure I get to the good comments and the bad comments, because I know a lot of you guys think maybe Recap doesn't see the comments that I post. Maybe Recap isn't paying attention to all comments. You guys think I don't see the cap comments, the quote unquote clickbait comments? I have to address that really quickly. Matter of fact, it's good I address that face to face directly. So many people tell me clickbait because when they open a video, it's not what they want to hear. Even though everything that the report says it's going to be, it's exactly that report. Everybody needs to understand a Giannis trade update may not necessarily affect the Knicks 100%, but because the Knicks are one of the main teams looking to trade for him, every single Giannis Antetokounmpo move that potentially either indicates or states that he could potentially leave Milwaukee or stay with Milwaukee, I want to make sure I'm updating you guys, the audience, about these moves. Why? Because every time I look to my left or right, there is another comment, another person contacting me, asking me, what's going on with Giannis? What are the updates with Giannis? And I think that's another thing that people don't understand. So many people really don't seem to understand or even get that some of these reports, the Knicks want out there. Number one. Number two, a lot of these videos, other people are asking for these videos to come up and for these videos to be represented, for information to be put out there about Giannis and what the latest updates are. So because I am who I am, I try to do that for everybody. Now, it's clear. Some videos, they're not going to be for you guys. And you're going to say, cap, clickbait, yada, yada, yada. And then some other videos, you guys are going to love it. You guys are going to appreciate it. And you guys are going to ride with me. But either way, I'm going to make sure that content gets out there. Whether you hate me or whether you love me. Whether you love the content or whether you hate the content. I'm going to make sure that I'm putting it out there for you guys each and every day. Because whether you believe it or not, some of you guys want to see it while some of you guys don't want to see it. So the best thing I can do is try to get the information the best way I can and present it to you guys in a way that not only you can understand, but you can appreciate, because you know you're getting the full 100% reports and exactly the full breakdown of those reports. Let's see here. Saw says, they rage bait you, twin. I know they do. They always do that. They leave those comments because they want to get me mad. They want to get me upset. They want to see me get like this. All like this. Well, you know what? Congratulations. You did it. You got me. You got one. One time. Do you think you're going to get it again? You think you're going to rage me again? No, not going to happen. In fact, I wanted to make sure I addressed this so I didn't have to address it again. So I appreciate Joseph, who said cap on this live stream, thinking I wouldn't see, maybe delete, or not look at his comment. Like I said before, leave those comments. I'm not running away from those comments on a live stream. You want to have a real conversation, buddy? You want to have a real conversation? Leave the comment. Let me see it. Let's have a conversation. You think I'm running from anything? I do live streams on the daily. I used to, and I'm about to bring them back all summer long. You're going to have an opportunity to say whatever you want to say. Let's see. Nelly Nell says, grade the free agent signings A through F. That's a very good question, Nelly. And I appreciate you, by the way, being a member. For everybody who's not a member of the channel, I'm going to tell you this now before it starts going off. We are going to start doing live streams exclusively for members only. That means members only are going to be the ones accessing that. Exclusive members only videos, those are coming as well too. And oh, by the way, giveaways, they're coming back, but only for members. If you want to be a member, now is the best time to do it, because now every member is going to start getting a little bit more each and every day. I appreciate it. Dimitri says, it's the off season. All Knicks news is good news and a lot of in-between time before training camp. You see, Dimitri understands it. Dimitri knows that when it comes to the Knicks, it's always news, it's always good, and it's up for the person breaking it down to inform you guys what it is or what it isn't. Let's see. Rasta Gold says, dang, Troy, only members, I'm broke. Hey, listen, my guy, I understand it. It's tough times for everybody. My memberships don't cost a lot if it's any consolation. But listen to this. I'm going to be doing more member streams, but I'm also going to be doing more streams in general. So that means whether you're a member or not, you're still going to be able to appreciate all of the streams. However, the members, they're going to get a lot more streams, and they're going to get a lot more of a laid-back recap, because in those streams, I'm going to have a lot more fun with it. Just saying. Warren Franklin says, why members only? Come on, Troy. I love your videos, bro. Listen, the videos are still going to be there. I'm not taking away the videos. Everybody, the content for you guys is not going to change. What you can actually think about this is as an addition to. Everything you guys already know and love, that's still going to be there. Only now, moving forward, there's going to be addition to everything else that I'm doing. And that addition is solely for the members. And why? Because those members are supporting me each and every month with what they're doing. So it's only fair that I support them back. That's the only thing here. Let's see here. Obina says, imagine we do get Giannis, make the finals, and he misses crucial free throws to win a game 7. Why would you put that out there? Don't do that. Don't give me a situation like that. Nobody wants to talk about. You see, I got to get my red cup again. I didn't grab this cup since the beginning. And the only reason I grabbed it in the beginning was because I was not doing great in the beginning of this stream, because it was my first time back. I was a little bit rusty. You got to forgive me with that. But like I said, and I promise, as we continue with live streams, as I continue to do them, it's like riding a bike. You only get better, right? So all right. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple more comments, and then I'm going to break down the Giannis Antetokounmpo situation one more time again for everybody who's really just joining the stream. You know what? Rashidi says, I just got on recently. Are you saying the Knicks are trading for Giannis? I'm glad he's here, because this is exactly why I wanted to break down the rest of this stream so everybody can understand where we are and what's happening. So let me go ahead and break this down one more time again, just so everybody understand what's happening and what's going on. For everybody who's joining the stream right now, there has been a situation that happened in Milwaukee. So let's go ahead and break this entire thing down, because I think it's important. First of all, everybody thought that the Milwaukee Bucks were potentially not going to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo, because everybody thought that potentially the Bucks were going to build a contender around Giannis. And today, everybody almost closed up every single trade report. Why? Because the Milwaukee Bucks made a move nobody expected. And this was the move that they made. This is insane. The world has been waiting to see what Giannis Antetokounmpo will do. Then the Bucks made a major move, signing Miles Turner. That means everything is fine, right? Wrong. In order to make this move, the Bucks had to release Damian Lillard, a move that Giannis was very unhappy with, and because of that move, the door for Giannis Antetokounmpo potentially requesting a trade out of Milwaukee has swung all the way wide open once again. According to Shams, as you can see here, breaking free agent center Miles Turner has agreed to a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, plus a player option for year 4 in the 2028-2029 season, and a full 15% trade kicker. According to Shams Charania, the Bucks GM John Horst and CAA co-head of basketball Austin Brown partnered on executing a massive deal in a market scarce of salary cap space during the opening days of free agency. Milwaukee retools aggressively around Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, everybody thinks you're happy, right? That's great. Giannis is good, right? Wrong! Giannis is not good. In fact, he's horrible right now. He's not in any good mood. He's unhappy. Why? Because in order to sign Turner, they had to let go of Damian Lillard. And the way they did it hurts the Bucks for years to come. Check out exactly what Milwaukee did with Giannis. Shams Charania states the following. This is exactly what the Bucks did with Damian Lillard. The Milwaukee Bucks are waiving Damian Lillard and stretching the remaining $113 million on his contract in order to acquire Miles Turner. Lillard's 2 seasons in Milwaukee comes to an end as he rehabilitates a torn Achilles tendon. In 2025-2026 to 2029-2030, the Milwaukee Bucks will be paying Damian Lillard $22.5 million. $22.5 million for years because they wanted to sign Miles Turner. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, who helped the Milwaukee Bucks sign Miles Turner in free agency, he didn't know by doing that, he was shooting himself in the foot. Why do I say that? Oh, I don't know. Well, because after this happened, you would think that your star would be happy. He's not happy. In fact, reports are indicating that after this signing, he's absolutely upset, unhappy, and not okay with Milwaukee. Breaking from Chris Haynes. By the way, Chris Haynes, very, very good friends and close with Damian Lillard. According to him, Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's not pleased with the team's decision to waive Damian Lillard. And this is what he put out there, And this is what he put out there once that announcement was official. His mood 100. I don't know what this picture is, but I do know what it says on the bottom there. I don't know what's going on right now, man. I don't know what's going on right now, man. Your superstar, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who you convinced, seemingly convinced in the dark, to get Miles Turner on the Milwaukee Bucks. And then you go right around him and you waive Damian Lillard so you can make that move happen. And in the process, you anger Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if you're the Knicks, if you're every team in the NBA, this is what you were waiting for. This moment where there was a situation, an issue that happened in Milwaukee. An issue so bad that it causes this. And because it caused this, we know where the Knicks are. The Knicks didn't trade for Kevin Durant because they were hoping a situation like this would come up. A situation like this would happen. Now, the situation exists, and the New York Knicks, at least on the trade front, have you heard from them? Because I haven't. And I have been looking at this trade situation for the past couple of weeks now, and they have been silent. Milwaukee made a move. Giannis is unhappy with the move. The door for Giannis, in terms of him requesting a trade out of Milwaukee, is wide open. The odd makers all believe that if Giannis leaves Milwaukee, he'll likely join the Knicks. He wants to join the Knicks. He already put it out there that if he could play for any other organization in any other city, it would be New York. All the signs are there. The situation is there. Leon Rose and the Knicks front office have been quiet in terms of trades in free agency. They have not said anything, and they have all the assets in order to make this move happen. You can say no trade is going to happen. You can say nothing's going to happen. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's unhappiness, there's a door that's open, a pathway, a route for Giannis to join this Knicks team. And the man in the Knicks front office, Leon Rose, if there was anybody who was going to pull off a Giannis trade and do it in the dead of the night, silently, with nobody hearing anything, with nobody knowing anything, until it actually happens, Leon Rose is that man. And this Knicks front office, they have a history of doing this time and time and time again. OG Anunoby, did you know? No, but it happened. Mikal Bridges, did you know? No, but it happened. Karl-Anthony Towns, did you know? You didn't. Nobody knows. You don't know, and I don't know. But what I do know is all of these signs, all of these reports, they seem to indicate that potentially Giannis Antetokounmpo could be leaving Milwaukee via trade. And if that happens, the New York Knicks will be one of the first teams on the list calling Milwaukee, trying to trade for him. And if you know anything about the Knicks in this front office, if they want something and they need to trade for that person to get it, they're going to do it. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be successful and pull off that deal. And right now, I'm being patient and I'm waiting for that exact moment to happen. But what about you guys? What do you think about this entire situation going on with the Milwaukee Bucks? Clearly, at one point, everybody's happy, including Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, they signed Miles Turner in free agency. And then, in order to do that, they have to get rid of Damen Lillard. And because of that, Giannis Antetokounmpo is now unhappy. And because of all of that, that opens the door to potentially And because of all of that, that now opens the door to him potentially being traded. A door that the Knicks have been waiting for to be open so they can make a major move. Everything is here. All of the things that are necessary are on the table. Now, it's up to Leon. How do you guys feel about all of these reports and this entire situation? Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.